Hi, welcome back to Paw and Order. My name is Carl, and I am gonna teach you how to bring a new puppy into your home without causing a total disaster with your other pets. Introducing a new family member is one of the most exciting things you can do, but if you rush it you might end up with a lot of growling and stressed out animals, which nobody wants. My goal today is to give you a roadmap that keeps everyone safe and happy, while building a bond that lasts a lifetime. We are going to talk about scent and sounds, and body language, because dogs and cats don't speak English like we do. They use their noses and their ears to understand the world, so we have to respect that process from the very first minute the puppy walks through the door. I have seen so many people just drop a puppy on the floor, and hope for the best, but that usually leads to a very grumpy older dog or a terrified cat hiding under the bed for a week. We are going to do things differently, because you want a peaceful home, where everyone can nap together on the couch eventually. So grab a notebook, and maybe some treats for your current pets, because we are starting a journey to make your home the ultimate pack. The first thing you have to understand is that your home belongs to your current pets, and they see this new puppy as a tiny loud intruder who smells funny. Before the puppy even arrives you should bring home a blanket or a toy that the puppy has slept on so your older pets can get used to that specific scent. Put the blanket in their favorite spot or near their food bowl, so they start to associate this new smell with good things like dinner time or nap time. This is called scent swapping, and it is the most important step, because it builds a foundation of familiarity before they even see each other. If your older dog or cat sniffs the blanket and walks away calmly, you should give them a treat and tell them they are a good boy or girl. You are basically telling them that this new smell is not a threat, and that life is still going to be great even with a new roommate. Don't force them to smell it, just leave it out, and let their natural curiosity do the work for you over a day or two. This small step reduces the shock of the actual physical meeting by about 50%, because the nose knows everything first in the animal kingdom. When the big day finally arrives, and you bring the puppy home, you need to keep them in a separate room for a while to let them settle in. Do not let the pets see each other immediately through a window or a gate, because that can cause a lot of high-energy barking or hissing. The puppy is probably tired and overwhelmed from the car ride, and the new environment, so give them some space to explore one room safely. Meanwhile your older pet is going to be standing outside that door wondering what is going on in there, so keep them occupied with a long walk or a favorite chew toy. You want the energy in the house to stay very low and calm, because animals pick up on your stress levels very easily. If you are nervous and pacing around the house, your pets will think there is a reason to be worried about the newcomer. Stay relaxed and talk in a soft voice to everyone, so they feel like everything is under control and normal. This separation period can last for a few hours or even a full day, depending on how your older pet is reacting to the sounds coming from behind the closed door. Now, we move on to the gate phase, which is where the magic really starts to happen in a controlled environment. Use a baby gate or a sturdy screen to let the pets see each other without being able to touch or jump on one another. This provides a safety barrier that prevents any accidental nipping or overwhelming puppy energy from ruining the mood. I like to feed both animals on opposite sides of the gate at the same time, so they learn that eating happens when the other animal is present. If they can eat their favorite food while looking at each other, they are building a positive association that says the new guy equals yummy snacks. Watch their body language very closely during this time, because it tells you everything you need to know about their comfort levels. If the older dog has a stiff tail and is staring intensely, you should increase the distance between them until they relax. If the cat has a puffed up tail and is growling, you need to give them more time and more treats until they feel safe. Never yell at them for being grumpy, because they are just expressing their natural instincts to protect their territory from a stranger. When you feel like they are both calm at the gate, you can try a leashed introduction in a neutral area of your home, or even in the backyard. It is very important that both the puppy and the older dog are on leashes held by two different people, so you have total control over the situation. Allow them to sniff each other for just a few seconds, and then gently pull them apart, and give them treats for being calm. Short bursts of interaction are much better than one long session, because it prevents the excitement from boiling over into aggression. Think of it like a first date, where you just want to get to know each other for a minute before committing to a whole dinner. If the puppy starts jumping and being annoying, which puppies always do, you should redirect them with a toy, so the older dog doesn't feel like they have to correct the behavior themselves. You are the referee in this game, and your job is to make sure nobody gets overwhelmed or annoyed. If anyone starts to look stressed, just end the session on a positive note and try again later, after everyone has had a nap and some quiet time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is forgetting to give the older pet plenty of one-on-one attention during this transition period. Your older dog or cat might feel jealous or neglected because the puppy is taking up so much of your time and energy. Make sure you are still doing your regular walks and play sessions with your first pet so they know their place in your heart hasn't changed. If they feel secure and loved, they are much more likely to be patient and kind to the annoying little furball that just moved in. I always tell people to pet the older dog first and feed them first to maintain the existing hierarchy in the house. This isn't about being mean to the puppy, it is about respecting the seniority of the pet who has been with you for years. When the older pet sees that the puppy's presence doesn't mean they lose their favorite human, they will relax and accept the new reality much faster. It is all about balance and making sure that the love in the house is being shared equally among all the members of your growing pack. If you are introducing a puppy to a cat, you have to be extra careful, because cats have very different rules than dogs do. A puppy wants to chase and play, but a cat sees a running puppy as a predator or a noisy nuisance that needs to be avoided. You must provide the cat with high places like shelves or cat trees, where they can go to escape the puppy's reach at any time. A cat that feels trapped is a cat that will scratch or bite out of fear, so always give them an exit strategy. Never ever let the puppy corner the cat or chase them through the house, because that destroys trust instantly. You can use a harness on the puppy indoors to keep them from lunging at the cat while you are working on their relationship. Reward the puppy for ignoring the cat and looking at you instead, because that teaches them that the cat is not a toy. Over time the cat will realize the puppy is not a threat, and they might even start to initiate contact on their own terms. Cats like to be in charge of the pace, so let them decide when they are ready to get closer to the new addition. Supervision is the golden rule of pet introductions, and you should never leave a new puppy alone with other pets until you are 100% sure they are best friends. This process can take weeks or even months, depending on the personalities of the animals involved in the meeting. Even if they seem to be getting along great, a sudden loud noise or a fight over a toy can trigger a negative reaction that sets your progress back. Always put the puppy in their crate or a separate room when you leave the house or even when you go to take a shower. This protects the puppy from being hurt and protects your older pets from being bothered when they want to sleep. It also prevents any bad habits from forming while you aren't there to correct them with a firm no or a distraction. Think of it as a long-term investment in their friendship, because a few weeks of extra work now will lead to years of peace later. You want to be there to praise every good interaction and stop every bad one before it even starts to happen. Food aggression is a real thing that can cause big problems, so you should feed your pets in separate areas or even separate rooms at first. Even the sweetest dog can get protective over their bowl when a hungry puppy tries to stick their nose in it during dinner. By keeping their meal times separate, you remove a major source of conflict and allow everyone to eat in peace. As they get more comfortable, you can move the bowls closer together, but one always suggests keeping at least a few feet of space between them forever. Also be careful with high-value treats like bones or special chew toys, because these can cause fights even between pets that usually get along. If you give one a treat, you must give the other one a treat at the same time, to prevent any feelings of unfairness. Watching them eat near each other calmly is a great sign that they are starting to trust one another as part of the same family unit. Food should always be a source of happiness and security, not a reason for a fight or a trip to the vet. Training your puppy is a huge part of making the introduction successful, because a well-behaved puppy is much easier for an older dog to tolerate. Teach your puppy the leave it command as soon as possible, so you can tell them to stop bothering the older pet without having to physically intervene. If the puppy learns to respect boundaries and listen to your cues, they will be a much better roommate for everyone. You should also work on crate training, because it gives the puppy a safe space of their own, where they can relax and recharge. An overtired puppy is often a bratty puppy that doesn't know when to stop nipping or jumping, so forced naps are your best friend. When the puppy is in the crate, the older pets can sniff around the outside of it and get used to the puppy's presence without any pressure. It is a win-win situation for everyone, because the puppy gets sleep and the older pets get a break from the chaos. Training is the bridge that connects the different species in your home and makes communication possible between all of you. Pay close attention to the age and energy levels of your pets, because a senior dog might not have the patience for a high-energy puppy. If your older dog is slow or has arthritis, a jumping puppy can actually cause them physical pain, which leads to growling or snapping. You have to be the protector of your senior dog, and make sure the puppy doesn't treat them like a jungle gym. If you see the older dog looking tired, or turning their head away, it is time to put the puppy away for a bit. It is okay for an older dog to give a small growl to tell the puppy to back off, because that is how dogs communicate rules. However, you should never let it escalate into a full fight or a situation where the puppy is being bullied. Your job is to manage the energy in the room and make sure that everyone's physical and emotional needs are being met. A little bit of discipline and a lot of structure will go a long way in making sure the household remains a happy place for every pet. Toys can also be a point of contention, so make sure there are plenty of toys to go around, so nobody feels like they have to guard one. If a fight breaks out over a specific toy, just take that toy away for a while, until everyone calms down and can play nicely. I like to have a big basket of toys available, so there is always something else to grab if one is being used by another pet. You can also engage them in group play, where you throw two different balls or use two different tug toys at the same time. This teaches them that playing together is fun, and that there is no need to compete for resources or your attention. If you notice one pet always taking toys away from the other, you need to step in and redirect them to their own toy. It is all about teaching them how to share the space and the fun without any drama or stress. Playing together is one of the best ways for animals to bond and form a deep connection that will last their entire lives. Patience is the most important tool in your kit, because every animal is an individual and some take longer to adjust than others. Don't get discouraged if the first few days are a little rocky, or if there is some occasional hissing or barking. It is a big change for everyone, and it takes time for the new family dynamic to settle into a comfortable routine. Some pets become best friends in 2 days, while others might take 2 months to even sit in the same room. As long as you are seeing small improvements every day, you are on the right track to a successful introduction. Celebrate the little wins, like the first time they sniff each other calmly, or the first time they nap near each other on the floor. These moments are the building blocks of a great relationship, and they show that your hard work is paying off. Keep your head up and stay consistent with your rules and your rewards, and eventually you will have the peaceful home you dreamed of. I want to remind you that if things ever feel like they are getting dangerous, or if you are truly worried about a pet getting hurt, you should call a professional trainer. There is no shame in asking for help from someone who understands animal behavior on a deeper level and can give you specific advice for your situation. Sometimes a neutral third party can see things that you might be missing, because you are too close to the situation emotionally. A professional can help you identify triggers and give you exercises to build trust between your pets in a safe and effective way. Always prioritize safety over everything else, because one bad fight can cause permanent damage to a relationship or a pet's physical health. Most of the time though, with the steps we talked about today, you will be able to handle the introduction perfectly on your own. You have the tools and the knowledge now to make this a positive experience for your puppy and your existing pets, so go out there and be the best leader for your pack. Thank you so much for joining me today at Paw and Order, and I hope these tips help you create a loving and peaceful home for all your furry friends. Remember that the key is to go slow and stay calm, and always lead with love and treats for everyone involved in the process. Bringing a puppy home is a wonderful adventure, and seeing them bond with your other pets is one of the most rewarding things you will ever experience. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more pet training tips and tricks. I would love to hear your stories about introducing your pets in the comments below, so please share your successes and your challenges with the community. We are all here to learn from each other, and make life better for our animals, who give us so much joy every single day. I'm Carl, and I will see you in the next video with more advice on how to keep your pets happy and healthy and well behaved.